Welcome back to Connect17, live here at the RDS. I'm Jules Call, and we are bringing you this broadcast with thanks to GTM Events. That's us there, that's what we do, streaming live all across Facebook, or YouTube, or Twitter, or whatever your social media platforms are. That's what we do in a professional broadcasting capacity. So gtmevents.com if you want to check us out. Now, it is absolutely buzzing here in the RDS at Connect17. There are hundreds and thousands of people talking all things events, and it's just a hub and a hive of incredible activity. There are still tickets available for today, this afternoon, Tuesday, and tomorrow, Wednesday, the 18th of October. If you'd like to find out more about what's going on here at Connect17, just look up the website. It is connectshowcase.ie. Now, I am joined today by three special guests. It's our first of our tech panels. We have got Courtney from Wi-Fi SPARK, Chris Ziedelmeier, I hope I've got the pronunciation correct, from do.net, and Gianni Clifford from Fillit.ie. You're all very welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
How's it going?
So let's get the introductions across. We'll start with you, Cliff. Who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do?
My name is Courtney. I work for a company called Wi-Fi SPARK. We specialise in guest and visitor Wi-Fi, particularly into public venues. So we would do conference halls, we would do shopping centres, we would do arenas, we would do anywhere really where nowadays people are looking for a public Wi-Fi network. But we do a little bit more than that. Rather than just providing an internet access, we also provide all of the analytics and all of the marketing material that really adds value to the Wi-Fi.
Fantastic. Okay, Chris, you're from?
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm from Munich. The company I'm working for is do.net. We're an event automation platform, so we support our customers in making their events even more successful. Yeah, we support them from invitation, registration, event apps, and everything out of that. And first of all, to make them or help them to get even more of their favorite customers on the events and learn about them. So what is interesting, which panels did they like, which tweets did they send off, and so on. So that's what we do. And then that's why we're here in Dublin to talk more about that.
Fantastic.
Hello, I'm Gianni and I'm co-founder and CTO of Fillit. And what Fillit is a platform for finding and booking amazing space. So we work on both sides, for landlords who have great space, which is loads here. We've got hotels and all sorts here. We're here to talk to them. We provide a software solution for those guys who have great space and they need a platform to put it on. They need the tools like calendars to manage it. But then on the opposite side, on the tenant side, we provide all the tools to help them to find the great space. So to us, a space is anything that's basically been underutilized. So that could be anything from a hot desk to a greenfield site to a conference room, anything at all really. So our platform works right across events, retail, and pretty much anything in between.
Gianni, this sounds like a really interesting concept. It's almost like an Airbnb of events. Could that be an accurate sort of description of what it's like?
We'll take the compliment and we'll make it even bigger. So we're essentially like an Airbnb for all types of space. Now we don't focus on like rooms to sleep in because we feel that that's fairly boxed off, but anything else. So not just events, although we'll be very focused on our events chats here at Connect17 with all the event talk on around us, but we also work in retail sector a lot. So that could be anything from pop-up stores to smaller promotions in shopping centres or one of our bigger clients, let's say Tesco. So it's a really big mix of what people do. For example, on our platform we have we have barges, buses, greenfield sites, warehouses, hot desks. Like there's a complete mix of what's on there. We get a lot of people coming to the platform, film scouts. So you just have everything for someone like that, you know what I mean? So it's not just the niche of events, but that is a core part of what we do.
Brilliant, brilliant. So Cliff, talking to you about Wi-Fi SPARK, we live in an age now where none of us can live without our phones in our hand and our laptops and access to Wi-Fi. When it comes to events and dealing with a huge scale of people, how does I'm just interested in the functionality of how you operate to provide Wi-Fi at a big, huge scale event to a large amount of people. How does that work?
Yeah, it's fairly simple to put Wi-Fi into a house or to put it into a small venue. Once you get into larger scale venues, then there's a lot more challenges with Wi-Fi. So apart from all of the technical challenges, which there are, because there's a saying in Wi-Fi that says less is more. So in other words, less access points gives you more Wi-Fi. So it takes a specialist to know really what they're doing. We have recently installed Wi-Fi into the Kingspan Stadium for Ulster Rugby, and it is purely Wi-Fi inside the bowl, and it's the first stadium in Ireland to have that. But we were very, very careful as to how many access points we put in, because we wanted to deliver high quality, premium grade Wi-Fi to the visitors to the stadium. So it's a specialist area. But what does that give people in large scale venues, which is really what you need to focus on? It gives them much more than an internet connection. It helps them engage with the venue. So for example, in the Kingspan Stadium, fans can look at merchandising, buy merchandising online. They can buy tickets for the next games. They can tweet, and they can engage with other fans and with the club itself, and they can give information in order to receive information back. So when they're logging on, for example, they would provide basic details like their first name, surname, email address, their gender, their age group, and where they're from. And that enables Ulster Rugby themselves to see where their fan base is and how far they're travelling from, and what age group they're in. So it's an exchange of information. As I said, it's more than just an internet connection. It's providing greater return on that investment.
Because it is, I would say, very true that, you know, we use our phones so much these days, and we have either 3G or 4G, but there's something about once we know that we're on Wi-Fi and we're logged in, and there's the freedom to just, you know, post up videos or post up things that might actually eat up our data that we don't want to use. When we're hooked up to Wi-Fi, we are so much more free with our phone to, you know, engage with hashtags and things like that. Isn't that definitely true?
Well, that's absolutely it. You know, and Wi-Fi gives you that extra layer. It gives you that greater speed, and as you say, you're not eating into your data allowance, and you've got the freedom to post whatever you like.
Fantastic. So, Chris, with your, did I get the pronunciation of the surname right?
You did it perfectly.
Woo,
so you're more than welcome in Bavaria, actually. So you're doing
I'll
really
be over
good.
for Oktoberfest for all the beers.
On all the Bavarian names, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so your website, do.net.
Yeah.
When it comes to technology and events, like, things are getting pretty complicated these days, aren't they? And there's like things like we've got projections for all sorts of things of augmented reality and virtual reality, and we see lots of people with these things on their faces and everything. When it comes to events and technology, where are we and what's going to happen in the future?
Yeah, so for us, it's all about engagement. You just touched on that. Yeah? So I think so in the last wave we've seen in the last 5 to 10 years in event technology, it was really about smoothing things with technology, make it really easy to register, doing all the handling right of the badges and so on. But I think the next big step, and that's where we are also jumping on, is really about the engagement with the participants. If you're hosting an event, you want the people to engage with you beforehand. You want to engage with the event during the event. Actually, what we are doing right now, sending out hashtags, tweets, and so on. But after the event, all the work really starts. So, what have we learned about our attendees? What do we want to do differently next time? And how could we make sure that the attendees of last year will attend our, let's say, exhibition, conference, seminar the next time? And technology really gives us all this information. So we've learned, okay, when is a good time to interact with them? Which topics were interesting? And we do it on a really, or you could do it on a really personalized way. Probably that completely different topics that are interesting for you rather than for you. And it's more likely to make you come to the event if I give you the right information via the right channel on the right time.
So do you think it is important for people who are attending events these days is that they don't want to feel like they are just a number in the crowd, that they want to be personalised and kind of singled out, that this event has been designed and planned around what would suit them and how it would suit them? Is that true?
Absolutely. So I personally totally support that. I think everything that we've learned like in e-commerce over the last 10 to 15 years, all those personalised customer journeys, I think all of those learnings will make their way now into the event industry to make the communication even more personalized. Yeah, totally supporting that.
Okay, brilliant. So Gianni, Connect17 here in the RDS, it's buzzing and there's people everywhere and everybody's just talking non-stop events. What has brought you here today and what are you hoping to achieve from it?
obviously I came here to have this chat. As I kind of purely mentioned a moment ago, Fillit kind of works for both sides. So this is a really important place for us to be. There's heaps and heaps of landlords here. So that could be anything from, there's smaller venues even right over beside where our stand is, to inside there's some bigger hotels and chains of hotels. So what Fillit does for those guys is it gives them the tools to automate what is probably a cumbersome booking system they already have. And just from touching on the direction of things will go in the future that kind of Christoph was talking about, we see that some of these hotels and bigger chains may have systems that they're already using. And the future of platforms like Fillit is how they're going to communicate with those systems. So whether it's the calendar for existing bookings, to be able to talk to other systems that may be taking bookings in for their hotel reservation rooms. So it needs to be able to talk seamlessly through. We're already looking at how in the future people will be able to use our platform outside our platform, how we'll be able to fit into things that people are using more than they're using Fillit. So people will be able to book conference rooms and stuff, maybe in WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, and how that will comfortably sit in there, and how our app will be able to talk with other ones. So we're always need to not just be here to talk with these landlords, but also to learn what tools that they need, because essentially to provide them with that solution, we need to 100% understand what they need. And then on the opposite side of the coin, there's obviously a huge amount of event managers and stuff here, and they're the people who are booking the space all the time. So for them, Fillit is the one-stop shop where they can go and get any type of space. And for the tenants, it's great because it essentially doesn't cost them anything. They have this one website of Fillit.ie that they can go browse all the types of space that they could be looking for, and they don't really have to pay anything extra. It's the same for them, same service.
Brilliant. So Chris, with Do.net, you flew in, especially from Geneva. Storm Ophelia nearly stopped you, but then you made it in this morning. So obviously coming from Geneva to be here today is, it's a big deal. You're flying across Europe for us. What is it about Connect17 that has drawn you here and to Ireland itself?
Yeah, first of all, it's about making up new connections, learn about the industry, and it's really about what will happen in the event industry over the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah, because we have some major drivers, that will drive future development, and actually, it's also to chat with others. So, what is driving the industry? Yeah, so is it really the engagement piece where I personally believe in, or are there other technologies probably, let's say, steering the industry into a different direction? So for me, it's really a personal learning experience, and obviously do some networking on top. Yeah?
And you're here for the pints of Guinness as well now, let's be honest. You have to get a pint of Guinness if you're here in Ireland. You can't go home without one, even if it means you have to get it in the airport.
Totally. Yeah.
So, Cliff, if we were to fast forward, we're at Connect17 now. I'm imagining, let's say 10 years down the line, we're at Connect 2027. What are your predictions for technology in the event industry in 10 years' time? Because things are moving so fast, and flying skateboards and hoverboards and all sorts of things. Where are we going to be when it comes to events and technology?
Well, you're absolutely right. This industry is moving so fast. New technology is coming on all of the time. It's being adopted by forward-thinking companies, and basically they are wanting to get as much intelligence out of those people who, for example, are coming to the events, are using their Wi-Fi, are giving their details as much as they can possibly get back. That enables them to, specifically target people with offers, promotions, and things that will interest them, and it becomes a very personalised thing. So, if you are interested in sport, well, you will go to sporting events. So the sporting clubs and events will want to engage with you, and to be able to give you opportunities to visit them and to enjoy that experience. So as we move forward, and there is of course the whole area of data protection and of safeguarding people's private information, and that has to be taken very seriously, and it is by our industry. But people will still want to hear about what is going on, so they will agree to proper terms and conditions, proper legal requirements for giving their information across, and so the industry will start to be a lot more individually targeted. connecting people with those interests, and it will also be providing perhaps a lot more sort of movement of people. So, when you come into a conference centre or a place like this at the RDS, you will see people movement as they move around the hall, and that enables the exhibitor to see, well, this particular part of the exhibition hall is where people are gathering, so there must be something of interest there, and there are all these types of different technologies that are coming on board very, very fast.
Brilliant. Gianni, what would your predictions be for the next 10 years' time? What could you see as happening? Like, will we still have mobile phones? What will be going on in the world? Like, have you any crazy predictions that you'd like to see happen?
Yeah, 10 years is a good jump for me to try and predict down the road. But I was kind of touching on that, and how the future does hold. We're apps talking to each other. So all three of our businesses here are essentially complementary businesses that could work together. So someone's journey would start maybe booking with Fillit, and they'd move forward using Christoph, and then finish off with kind of Cliff having that at their event. And what happens is these products that we're all building need to start talking more to each other. And businesses who are on the side of that, who are kind of talking with other products and other platforms, is definitely on the right side of the way things are going to go. As we move forward, people, time in a way is kind of becoming like money. Like, you can do so much stuff online that's going to be free if you give a bit of your time to, whether it's watch an ad or sign up for something or any of this. So what we're trying to do with everything in Fillit, whether it's the tenant or the landlord, we're trying to save people time. We're trying to automate these cumbersome systems. People want that. People want to be able to have to organize their events, whether it's a smaller thing, in their own time. Maybe they have a full-time job and they want to organize it on the bus on the way home. Maybe they want to do it on the couch at the same time while watching Jeremy Kyle. Whatever it is, we have to try and suit what way works for them, and we have to try and we see now that people will be sending inquiries for events, and the landlords of those spaces, sometimes small spaces, sometimes huge spaces, they're accepting those inquiries at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, because maybe that's the time that suits them. They're still awake, but they can do that in their own time. So saving people time and making platform that can kind of talk to other platforms, again looking at kind of a bigger system, because that's what people are kind of expecting, you know what I mean, that kind of fluid start to finish solution.
Fantastic. And Chris, your predictions for technology in the event industry in the next 5 to 10 years, what would you like to see happen?
I hope it's all about predictive recommendations.
Okay.
Yeah, so after the personalized experience, it's really about some recommendations. For example, who should you meet? Yeah, and if the technology is like intelligent to tell me, hey, our businesses are complementary, just tell me on my mobile phone or whatever we got in 5 to 10 minutes, just look out for a tall guy with mustache to your left, and exchange your business cards or whatever we are using then.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really about all the predictive recommendations. I hope that the artificial intelligence, all the technologies will move fast ahead about that, because it was especially improve my personal experience of the event.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here today at Connect17. We wish you all every success with your future businesses. You've been amazing to talk to. So I'm Jules Call for GTM Events here at Connect17 in the RDS in Dublin. As I said, tickets are still available today and for the event tomorrow, Wednesday. Just check out connectshowcase.ie. So GTM Events broadcasting live, as you have seen, across all social media platforms. That's what we do. If you want to check us out, it's gtmevents.com. Stay tuned. We've got loads more interviews coming up here at Connect17 in the RDS.